Hello everyone, I'm Dmitry from Hardware Canucks, and this is the Be Quiet Pure Base 500 DX, an airflow enclosure from Be Quiet that is targeting both silence and performance under $100. This is the case I'm really excited to check out.
And as usual, big thanks to our sponsors, Razer, Fantex, Be Quiet, and Thermaltake for making CS 2020 possible.
Now, the original Pure Base 500 was an excellent, affordable budget tower that also came in different SKUs, giving you TG options, giving you multiple color options, and giving you completely solid side panel too. The DX, none of that. It comes in both black and white, no more gunmetal like gray version, because that wasn't as popular. So black and white are what people, I'm guessing, gravitate towards. It will no longer have the closed off top panel, so we only have the mesh up top because of the whole airflow direction. We have the new front panel that is both perforated at the front, and this is actually their first enclosure that features addressable RGB strips, and I do like their tasteful implementation with these dual strips at the front. We have the little button up top with the I/O, so you can cycle between different colors and effects, and of course, since it's addressable, you can simply connect that to any addressable 5-volt header to have that whole motherboard sync. We also have lighting integrated on the inside, on the top, so that shines down on the interior components, and it's really beautiful with the white enclosure because that white allows for a little bit more ambience, whereas with the black it's a little bit more muted for that top RGB strip. A few more changes include a new I/O, so they've actually removed one of the USB type A's from the top, which is unfortunate. We've seen that with many other case brands, but fortunately they have added a type C 3.1 Gen 2, which is great. And since the whole direction with this case is pure airflow and performance, they're now including 3 140mm Pure Wings 2 fans, which is great. One in the front, one in the top exhausting, and one rear exhausting as well. And from what they tell us, their own internal testing means that this is going to be a chart topper, and I'm excited to see actually what the airflow would be like. Since the volume of the case is pretty low, the entire front panel is fairly open. We have the metal mesh and we have the dust filter underneath that you could maybe remove to gain a bit of extra performance from that front intake, since the metal mesh of here could potentially act as a dust filter as well. But really excited to check out what the numbers for airflow would be like, and especially if you potentially move the fans around, maybe if you relocate the top fan to intake for the bottom to give you a little bit extra airflow for the GPU area. And since we have they're all Pure Wings 2, they do spin at 900 RPM, which means with 3 fans and whatever CPU cooler that you install in there, the system should be pretty quiet. A few more things I want to mention here is that white uniformity on cases is usually quite difficult to achieve, so making sure the white matches plastic, the metal, and the glass is quite difficult. So on their pre-productions here, it's still not exactly perfect, but they're making sure that it will be on the final retail samples. And another thing is that I appreciate that Be Quiet is making sure that the airflow focused enclosure comes with enough fans, because normally if you have like this tower and only one exhaust fan and you have to add your own, it does lower it in terms of the airflow potential right out of the box. And as with the 500 DX, that should not be the case. As for the interior design, I appreciate that they haven't gone around and changed up a bunch of things. I like the simple approach with the dual SSDs and beside the motherboard tray, the cable bar, all the cable management behind the motherboard tray is very well done. Nothing has been changed there. They're keeping the formula that gives you a really easy assembly procedure, a nice, simple, elegant enclosure with addressable lighting, and supposed to launch in March of this year. Really excited to check out the Pure Base 500 DX. And since the Pure Base 500, many of you guys have commented on our case of the decade video that you consider that to be like the budget case of 2019, and I agree, and I'm happy that they've added all these improvements that not only give us bling but also performance without increasing the price too much, because the Pure Base 500, the TG version, was $85, so with the additional fans and front panel too, so the $15 premium, I'm guessing you decide whether or not that is worth it to you. I'm Dmitry, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more CS 2020 coverage.